In the ever-changing world of 2025, confidence seems to be one of the greatest challenges we face. Amidst the pressures of society, the constant comparisons fueled by social media, and the relentless expectations placed upon us, have you ever wondered if you could break through those barriers? Perhaps you felt powerless in the face of failure or uncertain when standing before important decisions. These feelings are not yours alone, they are part of the shared human experience. But what if there were a time-tested way to rebuild your confidence? Would you be willing to embrace it? Stoicism, with its timeless teachings from Marcus Aurelius, offers us that very answer. Marcus, who ruled the Roman Empire with wisdom and courage, left behind not only a powerful philosophy but also practical methods to help us reclaim confidence sustainably, deeply, and realistically. These lessons, preserved in ancient texts, are more than mere relics. They are tools that can be applied effectively to modern life, enabling us to navigate pressures and crises with strength and assurance. So, focus and don't miss a single moment, because each insight holds the power to help you build the confidence you've always sought. Let's embark on this journey together, starting with you, right here, right now. Number 1. Live in harmony with your principles and the natural order. Confidence, a quality everyone aspires to, is not a glittering facade displayed for others to admire. For the Stoics, true confidence is a quiet, enduring flame radiating from within. It is nurtured by living in harmony with nature and adhering to one's principles, not by seeking applause or the spotlight. Marcus Aurelius taught that living in alignment with core values and understanding the natural order of the universe are the foundations of lasting confidence. In Meditations, he wrote, "Everything that happens, happens as it should, and if you observe carefully, you will find this to be so." Life unfolds according to unchanging principles, and instead of resisting the current of the universe, Marcus urged us to observe and align ourselves with it. Consider life in the fast-paced world of 2025, where everything seems to move faster than we can keep up. Work demands, social media, societal expectations. In the chaos of this modern existence, instead of being swept away, pause and ask yourself, what principles am I living by? What truly matters to me? Only by answering these questions can you begin to build a confidence grounded in the solid foundation of inner values. Today's world often equates confidence with external validation, the number of likes on social media, impressive achievements, or the praise of others. But Marcus Aurelius reminds us that true confidence must never depend on external opinions. He once wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. We claim to value ourselves more than anyone else, yet paradoxically, we let the judgments of others dictate our worth." It's a truth both ironic and sobering. Imagine yourself in a critical meeting. You have a bold idea, but fear it might not be well received. In this moment, you have two choices. Stay silent to avoid judgment or speak up because you believe in what you have to say. Regardless of whether the feedback is positive or negative, what truly matters is that you've stayed true to your principles. That is the essence of genuine confidence. When you stop being bound by others' expectations, you'll find a sense of liberation and peace like never before. The story of Cato the Younger beautifully illustrates this philosophy. In ancient Rome, where clothing symbolized status, Cato often wore simple, mismatched tunics. When questioned, he calmly explained that he did so to challenge societal norms and test his own feelings of shame. For Cato, confidence wasn't about seeking validation from others, but about daring to live authentically. Even in today's world, the pressure to conform to standards weighs heavily on us. It might be the pursuit of a prestigious career that doesn't truly fulfill you, or striving to fit an ideal image you see on social media, even if it doesn't reflect your authentic self. Yet, like Cato, every small act of living in alignment with your personal beliefs strengthens the quiet, inner confidence that no external force can shake. When you live in harmony with your principles and nature, confidence becomes an integral part of who you are. It isn't boastful or loud, but a quiet strength that empowers you to face any challenge life throws your way. The year 2025 may bring uncertainties and changes, but if you live true to your values, you'll always find peace and confidence within yourself. So ask yourself, am I living in alignment with my principles? If the answer is no, it's time to begin your journey toward true confidence, not by changing the world, but by finding harmony within it. Number 2, embrace the power of not knowing. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth, by which no one was ever truly harmed. It is the person who continues in his self-deception and ignorance who is harmed." His words illuminate the path ahead, reminding us that genuine confidence doesn't stem from knowing all the answers, but from the willingness to confront and accept what we do not know. It is a kind of freedom, an inner courage to acknowledge our limitations and open our hearts to the world around us. Picture this. You're in an important meeting. All eyes are on you as an unexpected question arises, one you don't have an answer to. Your heart races, your palms grow sweaty, and you feel an instinctive urge to say something, anything, just to mask your uncertainty. But what if you paused, took a deep breath, and had the courage to admit that you don't have the answer yet? While you may fear judgment, what usually follows is respect. Sincerity, paired with a commitment to learn, earns trust, not just from others, but from yourself. Admitting what we don't know liberates us from the crushing weight of always having to be right. It opens the door to growth and learning. Consider the story of Elon Musk, the visionary founder of SpaceX. When he embarked on his journey to revolutionize space exploration, he wasn't an aerospace engineer. He didn't know everything, but he didn't let that stop him. Instead of denying his gaps in knowledge, he dove into learning, sought guidance from experts, read hundreds of books, and embraced his ignorance as part of the process. The result? SpaceX not only succeeded, but redefined how humanity views space exploration. This is the power of embracing the unknown, not as a weakness, but as a driving force for innovation and progress. Marcus Aurelius also said, "Don't be ashamed of needing help. You have a duty to fulfill, just like a soldier on the wall of battle. So what if you are injured and can't climb up without another soldier's help?" Acknowledging what you don't know is akin to asking for a helping hand. It's not failure, it's the recognition that we cannot do everything alone. Think about the times you've bravely asked a question in a class, at work, or even in your personal life. Wasn't it in those moments that you realized ignorance is not a barrier, but a bridge to connection and understanding? In 2025, the world is evolving faster than ever. Artificial intelligence, cutting-edge technology, and the relentless pace of societal change thrust us into a reality where knowing everything is impossible. Rather than striving to keep up with every trend, pause and accept that we can't grasp it all immediately. It's in this humility that true confidence is born, not by mastering everything, but by trusting in our ability to learn and adapt. Marcus Aurelius was right when he said, "Each day provides its own gifts." Each day brings surprises, perhaps a challenge, perhaps an opportunity. When you accept that you don't know everything, you open yourself to receiving these gifts. And in this journey of discovery, you'll find the most enduring confidence, not rooted in having all the answers, but in your ability to face whatever life throws your way. Are you ready to take the next step on this path of discovery? Comment: never stop learning, to affirm your courage to admit what you don't know and your willingness to grow from every experience. And once you've embraced this imperfection in knowledge, the next step is confronting life's ultimate truth, death. By facing it head-on, we free ourselves from fear and learn to live each day fully. This is your reminder: when you no longer fear the inevitable, everything else becomes far more manageable. Let's reflect on this powerful lesson together. Number 3. Reflect on mortality to find clarity. In the journey to finding confidence, contemplating death might initially seem unsettling, even grim. Yet for Marcus Aurelius and the Stoics, death was not something to shy away from. It was a silent teacher, constantly reminding us of life's true value. The Stoic concept of memento mori, remember you will die, is a profound and empowering lesson, urging us to live courageously and without regret. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." These words ring as a wake-up call. Our time is finite, and real confidence stems from cherishing each moment and aligning our actions with our values. When we confront the reality of death, the petty worries of life, the fear of judgment, the anxiety of failure suddenly lose their grip on us. Instead, our minds focus on what truly matters, the things we deeply wish to accomplish, the people we genuinely love, and the legacy we aspire to leave behind. Imagine someone who is perpetually consumed by fears of failing at work or by the thought of being judged by others. Day by day, they feel less confident, doubting their abilities. But if they were to pause and ask themselves, will this matter in 10 years? And if tomorrow were my last day, would I still care about this? The answer would likely unveil a profound truth. Life is far too fleeting to waste on meaningless worries. Rather than succumbing to fear, they would find the courage to act, to confront challenges, and to embrace the opportunities that truly matter. For Marcus Aurelius, death was not something to fear. As he reflected, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." These words serve as a beacon of light for anyone seeking confidence in a world riddled with uncertainty, much like the ever-evolving challenges of 2025. When you internalize the fact that life is finite, you stop delaying your plans, cease wasting time trying to please everyone, and begin living authentically. Marcus Aurelius also reminded us, do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good. Once you accept the inevitability of death, you start to ask yourself, what is truly worth my time and energy? Are the decisions I'm making today reflecting the person I aspire to be? These questions liberate you from vague fears and help you anchor your confidence in your core values. Practicing the reflection on death doesn't require a dramatic overhaul of your life overnight. Start small. Each morning, remind yourself that your time is limited and ask, if today were my last day, would I regret anything? When faced with a fear or a worry, pause and ask, will this still matter a year from now? These simple questions allow you to live more fully in the present, let go of unnecessary burdens, and foster a deep sense of confidence from within. In the modern world, many mistake reflecting on death for pessimism, but in truth, it is one of the most practical and profound teachings of Stoic philosophy. It doesn't instill fear, it liberates us from invisible chains. When you realize that your time is finite, you gain the courage to live authentically, challenge your limits, and rise above your fears. Let memento mori guide you. Don't squander your precious time on trivial anxieties or on striving to please everyone around you. Live a life that you are proud of. From there, confidence will naturally arise, not from avoiding fear, but from embracing the courage to be fully and unapologetically yourself. Number 4, accept your vulnerability as strength. We often find ourselves caught in the whirlwind of perfection, where everyone races to build flawless facades of strength. But to Marcus Aurelius, confidence does not stem from these artificial masks. It comes from embracing the truth that we are all inherently vulnerable. Vulnerability is not a flaw to be hidden, but a foundation for authentic connection with ourselves and with others. Imagine yourself standing in front of a crowd, preparing to deliver an important presentation. Your heart races, your palms grow cold, and every word you plan seems to shatter into fragments in your mind. At that moment, you have a choice. You can pretend nothing is wrong, masking your emotions with an air of calmness, or you can pause, acknowledge your nervousness, and proceed with sincerity. That vulnerability, which you fear might make you appear weak, is what bridges the gap between you and your audience. It reveals your humanity, making them see you not as a perfect machine, but as a real person. And from there, your true strength begins to emerge. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that the greatest enemy of confidence is our own ego. The ego fuels our fear of judgment and compels us to seek perfection as a shield for our fragile self-esteem. As he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." True strength does not lie in controlling the external world, but in mastering how we respond to our vulnerabilities and failures. Acknowledging your limitations is not surrender. It is a courageous act of facing reality head-on. In everyday life, the power of embracing vulnerability is evident in countless situations. Picture a young professional who sends an important email with incorrect data. Instead of making excuses or deflecting blame, they take ownership of their mistake, correct it, and learn from the experience. While this might initially bring embarrassment, it builds trust and respect over time. Vulnerability, when embraced, does not diminish you. It helps you grow and earn the admiration of others. In social relationships, vulnerability holds an equally critical role. In an era where interactions often feel superficial, opening up about your fears or failures has become a rare but profound gesture. A friend who shares their struggles or insecurities invites understanding and empathy, far more than someone who only showcases their achievements. This reminds us that confidence is not about striving to be an ideal version of ourselves, but daring to live as our true selves. Marcus Aurelius encouraged the practice of daily self-reflection to understand and accept our vulnerabilities. Take a moment each day to revisit times when you felt fragile, yet persevered. Recall the sense of relief that came with admitting a mistake or the warmth that followed when you opened up to a friend. These moments prove that real confidence is not found in concealing vulnerability, but in embracing it as an essential part of the human experience. Ultimately, Genuine confidence is not an invincible state, but the ability to stand firm even when faced with inner storms. The fears we avoid and the vulnerabilities we suppress are often the keys to discovering our deepest strength. It is not an easy path, but it is the only one that leads to inner freedom and resilience in the face of life's challenges. If you've stayed with me this far, I want to congratulate you, because it shows that you are not one to give up easily. You're here to change, to grow, and to reclaim your inner strength. This journey is far from over, and what lies ahead will be the key to completing the bigger picture. This is not just a simple solution, it's a comprehensive strategy for building unshakable confidence and facing life with courage. So let's keep moving forward together. Number 5. Accept the impermanence of life. Have you ever experienced the feeling of loss? Perhaps it was the loss of a significant opportunity, an important relationship, or even your faith in yourself. In those moments, life seems to shatter, leaving you stranded in the shadows of despair. But remember this, everything in life has its beginning and its end. The pain you feel today will not last forever, just as the rain eventually ceases to make way for the sun. This understanding alone gives us the strength to rise, to look forward, and to keep moving with greater resolve. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight." When we realize that loss is merely a form of change, and that change is the essence of nature, we are no longer paralyzed by fear when facing life's challenges. Instead of tormenting ourselves or clinging to what has passed, we can learn to embrace loss as a natural part of our growth journey. Most importantly, we come to understand that true value lies in how we respond, not in the circumstances themselves. Imagine a young entrepreneur, brimming with ambition, starting a business with passion and high hopes. Yet, after only a year, he faces failure. His company collapses, his finances are drained, and his confidence is all but shattered. In the face of this defeat, he has two choices: to fall and give up, or to accept that this is just a single chapter in the longer story of his life. By embracing the Stoic principle that everything, even failure, is temporary, he finds the strength to rise again. He adjusts his plans, learns from his mistakes, and ultimately builds a business more successful than the first. This is the transformative power of impermanence. When embraced, it turns adversity into a driving force for growth. In a world that is constantly changing, what matters most is not the events that happen to us, but how we face them. When we come to terms with the fact that we cannot control everything, we free ourselves from the shackles of perfectionism and the fear of failure. Instead, we focus on what we can control, living according to our principles, acting with integrity, and accepting outcomes with equanimity. As we move into 2025, in a world brimming with uncertainty and pressure, the lesson of impermanence becomes more relevant than ever. In an era where technology evolves relentlessly, social relationships grow increasingly complex, and expectations of success seem to stretch endlessly, it is easy to feel overwhelmed. Yet within this chaos, the reminder of impermanence stands as a beacon of wisdom. It teaches us that nothing is fixed, and even the greatest challenges can become the most profound opportunities for learning and growth. Accepting the impermanence of life does not mean adopting pessimism or passivity. Rather, it is a deep understanding that everything has limits, and we do not need to control everything to find peace. By letting go of unnecessary worries, focusing on the right actions, and cherishing each moment, we cultivate an unshakable inner confidence. This is perhaps the greatest gift Marcus Aurelius and Stoicism offer us, a timeless source of inspiration to face any challenge life throws our way. Once you understand that life is a continuous flow of change, you will see that failure is not a stopping point, but a natural part of the journey toward growth. Embracing impermanence allows us to approach every event with a calmer perspective and opens the door to a new outlook. Failure is not something to fear or avoid, but an opportunity to learn, to improve, and to progress. Instead of being imprisoned by regret or self-doubt, Stoicism encourages us to transform mistakes and wounds into invaluable lessons, the solid bricks that build our confidence and inner strength. Number 6. Turn failure into a stepping stone for growth. In Stoicism, failure is not an end, but a beginning. It is not a wall that halts your progress, but a door that opens to opportunities for growth and deeper self-awareness. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." These words are not just echoes of wisdom from the past. They are a guiding light for how we confront adversity in modern life, where failure, be it small or monumental, remains an inevitable companion. Failure is an essential part of life. This is an undeniable truth. In a world of constant change and relentless pressure to succeed, failure becomes a universal test, one that no one escapes. However, how you perceive failure determines everything. Will you allow it to defeat you, or will you use it as a stepping stone to learn and grow? Marcus Aurelius reminds us that every event in life carries meaning, as long as we are willing to look for it. Think back to the last time you failed, perhaps during an important presentation when you gave it your all, but didn't achieve the outcome you hoped for. Instead of wallowing in self-doubt, ask yourself, what is this failure trying to teach me? Is it urging you to prepare better, to listen more attentively to feedback, or to rethink your approach entirely? Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, lived a life marked by profound adversity. When a shipwreck stripped him of all his wealth, he did not curse his misfortune. Instead, he saw it as an opportunity. It was during this hardship that he turned to philosophy, beginning a journey that led to the creation of Stoicism itself. Without that failure, Zeno might never have become a great philosopher, and we might never have inherited the profound teachings of his school. His story is a testament to the Stoic belief that every setback carries within it the seeds of transformation. Failure, according to Stoicism, is a mental exercise, a workout for the mind. Just as an athlete requires strenuous training to strengthen their body, our minds require challenges to develop resilience. One of the most famous Stoic practices is premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. This is not an exercise in pessimism, but a preparation for reality. Before embarking on a significant task, imagine what might go wrong: criticism, delays, or even outright failure. By mentally rehearsing these possibilities, you'll be ready to face them when they arise. Not as surprises, but as challenges to overcome, and even as opportunities to grow stronger. Everything that happens outside of us lies beyond our control, but how we respond is entirely within our power. This is the root of true confidence. Understanding that failure does not define you. How you rise after falling does. When you encounter failure, remember it is not the end. Do not fear it or avoid it. Instead, face it with a calm heart and a mind open to learning. Start with small actions, gradually rebuilding your confidence step by step. If you've failed at a big goal, break it down into smaller, more manageable steps and tackle them one at a time with persistence. As Marcus Aurelius and Stoicism teach us, failure is not the enemy. It is a teacher, a companion, stern but loyal. In 2025 and beyond, embrace failure as a natural part of life. Let it mold you, strengthen you, and bring you closer to the person you are meant to become. Failure is not something to fear. It is a tool for cultivating resilience and unshakable confidence. Now, it's your turn. Have you ever faced failure with patience and maintained faith in yourself? Have you ever transformed what seemed like an insurmountable challenge into a turning point that changed your life for the better? If so, I invite you to share your story in the comments. Your experience can remind us all that we are not alone on this journey and may serve as a beacon of inspiration for others striving to overcome their doubts and fears. After sharing, let's move on to today's final lesson. Number 7. Connect with society to discover meaning. When Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "We are made for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids, like the rows of the upper and lower teeth. To act against one another then is contrary to nature." He wasn't merely reflecting on the essence of human connection. He was pointing out something far deeper, that harmony within the community is intrinsically tied to confidence. Humans, in their most natural state, are not isolated beings. We live, grow, and discover our purpose through our relationships with others. Once you recognize this truth, you no longer feel alone amidst the challenges of life. Instead, you draw strength from the invisible yet profound bonds that connect us all. Confidence doesn't always originate solely from within. Often, it is nurtured by the awareness that you are not alone on this journey. Stoicism, with its philosophy of cosmopolitanism, the idea that we are all citizens of the world, encourages us to understand that every experience and challenge we face has, at some point, been shared by others. We can learn from the collective wisdom of humanity, the lessons of those who came before us, and the strength of those who walk beside us. When you feel uncertain or afraid, remember that loneliness is an illusion. Somewhere, there are people striving just like you are, and they can serve as mirrors, reflecting your potential and helping you grow. Think about how it feels when you're struggling and someone listens. A single word of encouragement, a glance of empathy, can reignite a confidence that seemed lost. Imagine a simple, everyday scenario. You're about to give your first presentation in front of a crowd. Nervousness and self-doubt creep in, making you question whether you're capable. But when you share your fears with a colleague or a friend, they reassure you, sharing their own stories of past failures and how they overcame them. Suddenly, you realize you're not alone, that fear isn't a sign of weakness, but a natural part of growth. Armed with this perspective, you step onto the stage with a renewed sense of self-belief. Marcus Aurelius also reminded us that we cannot live apart from society. He wrote, "What is not good for the swarm is not good for the bee." This wisdom underscores not just our responsibility to the collective, but also the truth that our happiness and confidence are deeply influenced by how we connect with the world around us. When you contribute value to others, even in the smallest of ways, you discover that you don't merely exist, you matter. And it's this sense of worth that fuels your inner confidence. But connection is not just about receiving, it's also about giving. When you engage in community activities, extend a helping hand to someone in need, or simply share your story, you begin to see that your value isn't confined to your personal achievements. It also lies in the impact you have on others. Think about the last time you felt genuinely proud and confident. Was it not when someone offered you heartfelt thanks for your help? That moment, however small, reinforced your belief in your own worth. Stoicism teaches that confidence is never a solitary journey. In the face of the challenges of 2025, a world brimming with uncertainties but equally rich in opportunities, remember that support is always around you. Whether it's your family, friends, or the broader community, these connections are the foundation of your strength to move forward. Have you truly taken the time to nurture these relationships? Are you tapping into the power of collective support to bolster your inner confidence? If not, start with the smallest of actions. A thoughtful question, a story shared, or a bit of your time for someone else can create ripples of positivity. Choose thoughts that uplift and turn toward your community, because it is within society that authentic confidence is cultivated and sustained. We've just explored 7 timeless principles from Marcus Aurelius to build unshakable self-confidence in the fast-paced world of 2025. These teachings, rooted in Stoic wisdom, remind us that true confidence isn't found in external validation, but in mastering our own minds and actions. By focusing on what we can control, embracing setbacks as opportunities for growth, and remaining steadfast in the face of challenges, we can transform not only how we see ourselves, but how we navigate the world around us. Confidence is not something bestowed upon us, it's a skill we cultivate, one step at a time, with intention and resilience. If you found this video helpful and haven't hit the like button yet, now's the perfect time. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear how Stoicism resonates with you. Don't forget to share this video with someone you care about who could benefit from these powerful lessons. And most importantly, subscribe to the channel. There's so much more inspiring content on the way that you won't want to miss. Together, let's continue to grow, learn, and live with purpose. See you in the next video.